Badminton Kid 1. Badminton, running, and table tennis. Excerpts of Chapter 4. Yellow Bird. The guards soon arrived and took me into custody, locking me inside a dimly lit room. My profound fear, lingering doubts, and crushing remorse weighed heavily on my heart. Sitting in that dim room, the shadows of desolation engulfed me. Emotions surged through me like a relentless tsunami assaulting a vulnerable coastal village. I found myself yearning for a bolt of lightning to strike me, ending the burden of my sorrow. I felt completely hopeless. Hope brings fear. When hope vanishes, so does fear. As time passed, much like the gradual retreat of a tsunami from the coast, I began to regain my composure. I turned to prayer, seeking solace from the heavens, and eventually drifted into a restless sleep. During this reprieve, my body, mind, and spirit found some measure of rejuvenation, and within the cocoon of this rest, I conceived a plan to free myself. Raising his eyes, he spotted two more dogs rapidly closing in, just a few paces away. In a lightning-quick reflex, he propelled himself to his feet, executing a forceful leap backward with every ounce of strength he could muster. As he soared through the air, the dogs lunged, jaws snapping with the intent to seize his neck. A hair's breadth separated them from their prey, and they thudded to the ground just a few feet in front of him. A shroud of agony enveloped him, and he felt himself descending into a grave, slipping into a realm foreign to him, a world of layered chambers. Above him sprawled a sky crowded with stars, but these stars were dark, a sea of black luminance against a somber gray expanse. He continued his inexorable descent, plummeting into the abyss of obscurity, where light and understanding were mere memories. Beyond the furthest reaches of human exploration, he traversed realms not upon by unfathomable entities, twisted, distorted, and tortured. His journey led him through each infernal layer. With each descent, the cacophony of agonized cries grew louder, and dim illumination revealed nightmarish instruments of torment, rat cages, tiger chairs, death beds, and red-hot irons, tools once only read about in books, now gruesomely vivid before him. Fear and pity constricted his heart. The torture grew increasingly crueler and more inhumane the deeper he descended into the abyss. Upon reaching the lowest level, John was greeted by a nightmarish scene. Rubble strewn haphazardly, sporadic flames flickering, and a trench filled with lifeless bodies, half buried and protruding legs, filling the air with acrid smoke and a putrid stench. With relative ease, John slipped through the fence hole just as the guard arrived. In a gesture of respect and gratitude, he offered a polite smile and bow to the guard on the other side of the fence before turning and resuming his journey. Full of hope and full of joy, he wasted no time to move on. Pushing his way through the underbrush and foliage, he discovered a trail unfolding before him. Swiftly, he followed this path, ascending the mountain. He had started his journey with all his anguish, the sorrow of his separation from Pearl, and the pangs of his parents' death. Through struggle, endeavor, and hardship he prevailed and came to this green mountain, which reverberated with his voice of justice and his yearning for freedom. He felt as if something was leaving him, like a caterpillar shedding its cocoon. Suddenly, all the pangs he suffered for years, the stress he endured, the fear he encountered, and the despair he borne to the brink of death all extinguished and vanished into the thin air. It was the same green mountain, the same white clouds and the same blue sky he was under a while ago. Yet, his entire world, the one within and around him, had undergone a profound transformation. He was deeply joyous, his heart enthralled. He saw colorful flowers, green trees, brown rocks, white clouds, distant sky pale and blue, and silvery willows fluttering softly in the wind, all beautiful and enchanting. He heard birds sing, bees hum, goats bleat, and streams rush. They sounded like the songs of heaven, forming many melodies and many rhythms. All this, diverse and variegated in color, had always been there. The birds had always sung, the bees had hummed, and flowers had boomed. But before, all this had been veiled by his heavy heart and distressful mind. He saw and heard but did not sense them. For the first time in many years, His liberated eyes contemplated the world around him. It seemed ages since the world had looked so beautiful, innocent and undismayed. He could see both far and deep, and he could see with immense clarity everything, and everything in the world was in proclaimed order, much like the clear blue sky after a refreshing rain. He could comprehend the circumstances of his parents' passing, and yet, they continued to live on in his heart and memory. He ran on, tirelessly and swiftly, needing no urging or guidance. He ran through grassy terraces, creeping through a densely wooded forest, crossing a glimmering stream, navigating valleys, scaling a big boulder, and venturing through a hollow and a grove. Each step led him further into this newfound world, a world he had yearned for since the passing of his parents, a world where he sought his path in life. Everything was perfectly new again, mysterious and promising. He no longer felt himself as a stranger, a fugitive and an outlaw, but as a kid light in heart, thinking of nothing, desiring nothing, immersed in the enchanting present within the friendly surroundings. He felt as if the flight was not an exile but a homecoming. This foreign land, a land of mystery built by refugees with turmoil souls, was not strange and weird but was so much homelike, so much part of him. "Who is the white-haired old man with a big belly?" the girl asked. John had carefully reviewed the booklet from Uncle Sean and knew all the answers. He replied confidently, "Feather the White." The girl continued, "Pass. What is the specialty of Feather the White?" John replied, "Raising and farming pigs." "Pass. How does he attempt to conceal his large belly?" the girl inquired. "Utilizing an exceptionally expensive belt and robe." John answered promptly. "Pass. What is his favorite snack?" "Quality icy chips." "Pass. Final question. When is the National Memorial Day?" John hesitated for a moment and then confidently responded, "May 35, or 2332 and 3322. Pass. Stay where you are and describe your surroundings. We'll send someone to contact you."